Hey guys, it's Raging Rhino back for another VainGlory YouTube video, and today we're going to be playing Ringo Weapon Power. And I recently got into a competitive guild that seems to be working out well, so decided to bring the video of our first gameplay in a guild team match. The guild that I'm in is the Friends of Phoenix, and most of them are POA players, and I feel like it's been a really good fit. And I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. I've been having some technical issues, as well as taking care of some training that I needed to do. So as you can see, I have Ringo, and I picked a weapon blade, and we're just going to go a full weapon build with him. In this patch, I really feel like he scales well with weapons and crystal, really, but the weapon is seemingly better as a one-on-one situation goes. As far as teams, perhaps crystal would be more influential in securing, a team fight. But with having Taka on our team, and his stealth really helps to compartmentalize the enemies in the area that we need them to be in. So there's always that fear, the fear that Taka's gonna jump out of the bushes somewhere, and it just makes it a lot easier for the rest of the team to predict where the enemy may go. So I've been working on stutter and last hitting, and at the beginning of this game I wasn't really in rhythm. I lost quite a bit of farm, and it was really just my timing and worrying about scarfs, fireballs, and once I get into a pretty good rhythm, I feel like my CS does really well. The team, like I said, is really good, and we were able to really capitalize on our strengths within the game. That really helps win more games when you're able to play with people that understand not only the strategy behind the game, but also the strengths and weaknesses of their heroes and our opponents, and when to take advantage of any kind of mistake that the enemy can make. And even right there, Kroll, he came running up, thinking that he was going to be able to deal some damage, and in the early game he's not really able to just rush in and kill somebody as easily as he can in the later game, especially with Arden buffing me and getting me out of harm's way. So I really enjoyed this patch. I think it's been a really good improvement. A lot of people are talking about Fortress being broken and just too overpowered, and it's really funny to me because everyone's using a build that I started using when I first saw that Fortress was CP, and it was strong then. I get a Storm Guard, a Fountain, and get a Broken Myth. I believe I've featured that build on my channel before, and now everybody's using that and using the proc on the Broken Myth to build stacks and just annihilating the team. So in this particular match with Scarf, I've got to be careful of the fireballs, and at this point just not having enough defense really, but at the same time I do have the ability to poke and bully him just a little bit to back him off and try to put him in his place. My main focus on a weapon build is securing a Sorrow Blade first, because that's going to be able to really knock out quite a few health points, maybe even half health points within 4 or 5 shots. And if you can stutter step your opponents, it's much easier to secure a kill. And of course it helps with farming aspects as well as kiting and stutter stepping. When I get the blazing salvo, the stutter is a lot more fluid, and it's just something that I've worked on for the entirety of the game since the beta. And I played Saw a lot, so the stutter with him is very, very easy when you're spun up, and just the transition from him to Ringo is a little bit different because of Ringo's mobility. And right here, I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to go ahead and go back. I just cleared that wave, and I know there was a new one there, and I could have stayed and farmed that, but I felt like if I did, Scarf could have easily killed me with one hit and an auto attack. So just trying to be conservative, but also keeping in mind the entirety of the strategy that you need to be aware of when you're looking at a weapon power carry. And right there, I was going to rotate down to help with the fight, but of course they took care of it, and it just lets me farm more, get more items, and just try to burst down the turret as much as I can. And while I'm stutter stepping, I rotate around to the side just in case one of the enemies appears, and I can deal some damage and get out. And no one was there, so I just went ahead and rotated around and just kept dealing more damage to get that turret down. Things that I've learned recently in positioning and making sure that you're positioning yourself in the best strategic way has led me to see the difference between really good players and people that have given up on the game entirely. And I think it's not really that difficult to be in a position to gain the skills needed to make the game enjoyable. It's just the commitment of time and wanting to actually do that. And for a lot of people, I understand that this game is pretty much a casual encounter, and they have fun with it. It's a stress reliever, or just kind of a way to veg out from their lives and play a game, and that's great for a casual play mode. But if you're wanting to rank in this game, you're going to become extremely frustrated the higher that you go, and it's typically around tier 4 and 5 where you're going to have a lot of toxic people that you are not going to enjoy the game, and you're going to want to quit. But as you can see right there, a little bit of strategy, kiting, stutter, it makes the game so much fun. We were able to take down Kroll because what I've learned with him as Ringo is he's going to try to rush you, and I try to avoid purchasing an Atlas for him because I don't want him to be that close to me. And if he is, and he has Shiver Steel, I'm toast. I mean, there's not a lot that I can do against that, and I want to stay as far away from him as possible. And right here, I was checking their builds, and I didn't see anyone really building defense against me. And I picked up this build from a really good VainGlory player, and I thought I'd try it out because they weren't building any defense. And I felt like it was a really good build for this particular match, and it was just a good first ranked match with the new guild, and I thought you guys would enjoy watching. And what I was saying there, and Kroll did it again, is basically Kroll and Ringo are a hard counter. Kroll is a hard counter to Ringo, is what I'm trying to say. And the reason why is because if he is able to get to you and stick to you, it's very difficult to buy enough defense to have enough damage to take him down. And so what do you do in that position? Well, in a higher level game, you would typically buy I would say an Atlas and a reflex block, at least a reflex or an Aegis, and really look to higher damage weapons like a Sorrow Blade, a Monocle, and then probably a breaking point once you have enough defense to stay in a fight. And what I mean by that is if you don't have enough defense to stay into a fight, you don't need to buy a Shiver Steel, you don't need to buy a breaking point, because there's no reason to waste your money if you can't last in a fight. If you're gone in a few seconds because Kroll has a Shiver Steel and he's stuck to you and he's just wailing on you and you go down very quickly, it's not going to do anything for the team. And you can either learn that the hard way or take my advice and purchase some kind of defensive items after you've gotten your Sorrow Blade and a Monocle. You should at least have a reflex block at that point, and then go ahead and build a Blazing Salvo and some defense of armor, and build a breaking point after that, so that later on in the game you're able to kite him by using your Atlas as soon as he jumps on you. And if he's able to build stacks, you can use your reflex block to block his smite as you're kiting, which is a little bit difficult, but it is doable and will help you win the entire game, especially if the other team is lacking in their carry area as well. So boots are important. I mean, if you can't run away from him quick enough, then it's really hard to counter him. So keep that in mind, because I've said this several times. My goal is to help the community learn strategies that will make the game more enjoyable and have more players, so that everyone will know how fun the game can be. Right there, I'm not really sure what their intent was. I mean, Kroll was hiding to get his heroic perk available to slow us down, but I don't know why Fortress would have doubled back and tried to take all three of us, unless just thinks that they're OP Fortress. But that brings up a really good point as well, because the great way that you can win more games is to build against the highest damage dealers like Kroll, and not to say that the enemy won't look at your builds, but you want to be counter building as quickly as you can to what your enemy is building, so that even if they are looking at what you're building, there's nothing they can do about it. You can counter anything that they come at you with, and I want to present those things to the community so that more people play this game and have more fun, and are able to, stick with the game and see where it goes. There's some new heroes coming out. There's new skins coming out in the 1.15, which I know a lot of people enjoy that kind of stuff, and that appeals to the public, and everyone likes seeing the more crisp, clean graphics in the game, and I think that's a big part of it. Right here, Kroll, man, he's just way out of position. I felt like he should have waited for his team, but it may be one of those cases where the enemy team has 3 different strategies going that they're trying to execute, and neither one of them know what the other one is trying to accomplish. Right there, they may have been pinging him not to go, and he may have just done it anyway. Who knows? But we're trying to go ahead and secure the game. We've got the Kraken, and we're basically just having a good time at this point. We're way ahead, and we have all of our turrets still 17 minutes in, and we've got the Kraken, so we're just pushing, and I'm getting to know the new guild members, and having a good time. I actually have found some old friends that have fallen in the same guild. So right here, I could have gone in and killed both of those players, but I knew that the fortress was going to spawn, and I was just waiting to see if I could get in there, but I was unable to. And like I said, we're closing out the game. I was already 12-0, and just having a good time. So we do take one turret there, and you can see the Kraken fall dramatically. I pretty much have the build that I'm looking for, and I believe we just try to infuse and take out the crystal as soon as I spawn, so that we can close out the game. And the reason is, you can look at the builds and you can see that the items that were purchased by the enemy do not counter the items that we purchased directly, and that's unfortunate for them. And I'm really trying to help people to understand how important that is, so that we have a lot more fun, and not just, we're gonna wail on you guys and take you out. It's a lot more fun to everyone competitively to have even matches where both teams understand the strategy and they're having a great time doing it. And I hope that you guys enjoy the video. This does close it out right here. We're going to take the crystal, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, there was one thing. Oh, I remember. Don't AFK ever. Thanks, guys. Here's the builds, and as you can see, I mean, there's absolutely no armor on the other team. So